What destroys a man's value in a woman's eyes faster than lying or cheating? It's not what most men assume. Often, it's the quiet ways he gives up his power, the subtle habits that slowly erode her attraction, her respect, and her desire for him. This isn't about playing games. It's about protecting your dignity, your masculinity, and the core of who you are. So today, I'll break down 6 things a man should never do with a woman, and why each one costs you more than you realize. Number 1, never beg for her attention. There's an unspoken language between men and women, one that has less to do with words and everything to do with energy. The moment you chase her attention like it's oxygen, you've already told her, without saying a word, that her validation matters more to you than your self-respect. And from that instant, the dynamic shifts. Most men think chasing harder proves interest, double texting when she hasn't replied, explaining why she should care, dropping everything the moment she hints she's available. But none of this sparks desire. It signals emotional scarcity, and scarcity always kills attraction. Attention that's demanded never feels valuable. It feels cheap, forced, desperate. When you move from fear of losing her interest, fear of being forgotten, fear of not being enough, that fear seeps into your tone, your timing, your words. She doesn't need to consciously analyze it. She just feels it. And what she feels isn't strength. It's neediness dressed as affection. Here's the harsh truth. Women aren't drawn to men who need them to feel whole. They're drawn to men who value themselves so highly that they'd rather walk away than beg for attention. Real desire is mutual. Real connection flows naturally. But when you chase someone who's lukewarm, sending mixed signals, or withholding effort, you're not winning her. You're sinking into emotional quicksand. And the harder you fight for her attention, the deeper you go. A high-value man doesn't chase attention. He doesn't stretch himself thin just to be noticed. He moves with quiet certainty. I know what I bring. If you don't see it, that's your loss, not my wound. That kind of grounded self-respect speaks louder than any line you could say. The less you chase, the more respect you command. The less you beg, the more curiosity you create. And the more you hold your power, the more the right woman will step forward, without you ever having to ask. Remember, your job isn't to prove your worth to her. It's to show that you already have it. Now, the second rule, never overshare your insecurities too soon. There's a razor-thin line between healthy vulnerability and emotional oversharing, and crossing it too early can kill attraction before it even has a chance to grow. Vulnerability, when expressed from strength, builds intimacy. It says, I trust you enough to let you see me. But when you dump your deepest fears and unhealed wounds at the start, it doesn't create closeness, it creates pressure. Early in a relationship, the bond hasn't earned the depth to hold that kind of weight. Instead of seeing you as a strong man with a past, she starts to see you as her therapist, or worse, as someone she needs to fix. That shift destroys polarity. This doesn't mean you hide your humanity. It means you pace it. Let trust grow naturally. Share your story in pieces, at the right moments, when connection has been tested, when both of you are invested. Oversharing early is often a disguised plea for validation. You're hoping she'll reassure you or tell you you're enough. But that's not true vulnerability. That's emotional outsourcing. Women respect men who can feel deeply without collapsing under the weight of their feelings. A man who has faced his insecurities and processed them can share from a place of strength. He's not asking to be rescued. He's revealing the journey he's already walked. The key is groundedness. Vulnerability that comes from strength invites connection. Vulnerability that comes from need destroys it. Vulnerability born from desperation doesn't attract, it repels. She can feel the difference instantly. 3. Never tolerate disrespect. Every relationship is built on respect. Without it, nothing lasts. And the boundaries you set in the beginning decide whether that respect stays strong or slowly crumbles. The first time you let a disrespectful comment slide, the first time you excuse passive-aggressive behavior with, "It's not a big deal," you're silently teaching her that your dignity is negotiable. Disrespect isn't always loud. Sometimes it's subtle. A sarcastic remark that cuts a little too deep. A joke that belittles your ambition. Dismissing your ideas or ignoring your effort. And if you let these moments go unchecked, you set a dangerous precedent. A man of value knows the difference between playful teasing and the slow erosion of respect. And when that line is crossed, he responds. Not with anger, not with drama, but with calm certainty. Sometimes that's direct. "I don't appreciate being spoken to like that." Other times, it's space, pulling back and showing with your absence that respect is non-negotiable. Because silence in the face of repeated disrespect doesn't create peace. It breeds resentment and invites more of the same. The moment she realizes you'll accept being diminished just to keep her respect starts to die. And once respect goes, attraction is the very next casualty. 4. Never make her the center of your world. One of the biggest mistakes men make is abandoning their own lives the moment they find a woman they desire. They abandon their goals, stop chasing their passions, and let friendships fade, all in the hope of making her happy. At first, she might find the attention sweet, but soon it feels smothering, because what she begins to see is a man who has no life beyond her, and nothing drains attraction faster than a man without purpose. A woman doesn't want to become your entire world. She wants to step into a world that's already alive, already thriving, with or without her. A man with direction, with ambition, radiates magnetism because he's complete in himself. But when you orbit your entire existence around her, you're not showing love, you're showing dependence. And dependence creates pressure. Pressure for her to be your only source of meaning. That kind of pressure doesn't spark desire, it kills it. A man of value stays anchored in his mission. His purpose never gets sacrificed for romance. In fact, it's what makes the romance last. She respects him because he treasures her deeply, yet never more than his own growth. And here's the truth. Trying to control or fix her is the fastest way to break trust. It often hides behind fake concern. "I'm just trying to help you." But the hidden message is, "I don't accept you as you are. Change for me," whether it's criticizing her choices, dictating her friendships, or reshaping her personality. Control always comes from insecurity. Even if she goes along for a while, resentment grows in the background. Your role is not to mold her into your vision. It's to live with such strength and integrity that she's inspired to rise on her own. People don't change because you demand it. They change because your example makes them want to. They don't change because you force them to. They change because they want to, and often because your actions set a standard worth respecting. A high-value man doesn't measure a woman against a checklist. He simply lives by his own standards and lets her choose whether to rise and meet them. Because love doesn't thrive on control. It thrives on acceptance. Rule 6. Never abandon your masculine frame. Your frame is your anchor, your steady presence in a world full of chaos. Lose that, and you lose the respect and attraction that keep a relationship alive. Holding frame doesn't mean being cold or emotionless. It means feeling everything without letting emotions control your actions. It means staying calm when she tests you. It means standing firm in your boundaries instead of folding just to please her. And yes, she will test your frame, not to be cruel, but because she wants to feel your strength. She wants to know she's with a man who won't collapse under pressure. If you respond with anger, neediness, or desperate fixing, you show instability. Instability kills safety, and safety is one of the deepest roots of attraction. A man who maintains his frame leads with calm confidence. He doesn't get dragged into pointless drama. He doesn't beg for reassurance. His steady presence stands out in a world where most men either bottle up their emotions or drown in them. Masculine frame is emotional sovereignty, owning your values, your responses, and your presence without compromise. That's the kind of man a woman respects for life. At the end of the day, you don't lose a woman because you weren't enough. You lose her when you abandon yourself to keep her. So hold your power, protect your dignity, and remember, the right woman will never need you to give up your self-respect to stay. If this message gave you clarity, hit that like button, subscribe for more powerful truths, and share this with a man who needs to hear it today. See you in the next one.